Oh, a microphony.
And a phony at the mic.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
The Doctor of Discernment is now online.
You know, much like my show, in that it's a local reaction to things that are happening on a federal level.
Dispensing a daily dose of common sense. No prescription required.
Wow, do I have a boatload of stuff for you, from the crazy to the absurd. Let's start getting into it because, I mean, it is bizarro world out there. And I say, if it's obvious to me, should be obvious to everybody. Oh, wow. Who could have seen this coming?
This is the Fourth Hour with Greg Belfrage.
Hold on to your butts.
Broadcasting from my basement bunker beneath Kello Radio. Welcome to the Fourth Hour with Greg Belfrage. Always so great to, that came out kind of strange, didn't it? Always great to have you along. Let's go to the president's True Social account. We'll begin there today. The president saying nobody wants to talk about growth, which will be the primary reason that the big, beautiful bill will be one of the most successful pieces of legislation ever passed. This growth has already begun at levels never seen before. He says that a lot. Never seen before. Never. There are things we're seeing that we've never seen before. Trillions of dollars are now being invested into the U.S. more than ever before. Likewise, hundreds of billions of dollars in tariffs are filling up the coffers of Treasury. The tariff money has already arrived, setting new records. We're growing our way out of the sleepy Joe Biden mess that he and the Democrats left us, and it's happening much faster than anyone thought possible. Our country will make a fortune this year, more than any of our competitors, but if only the big, beautiful bill is passed. As they say, Trump's been right about everything. Yeah, I think he's the one who said it. Trump has been right about everything. And this is the easiest of them all to predict. Republicans, don't let the radical left Democrats push you around. We've got all the cards, and we're going to use them. Last year, America was a dead nation with no hope for the future. And now it's the hottest nation in the world. And Donald Trump has talked about this before as he's visiting with other countries. And they were like, we thought you guys were done. We thought you were out of it because of Joe Biden. So the president also, a few minutes ago, I just made a trade deal with Vietnam. Details to follow. And he said the one big, beautiful bill is all about growth. It passed. America will have an economic renaissance like never before. It's already happening. Just in anticipation of the beautiful bill. Deficit cut by half, record investment, cash, factories, jobs pouring into the U.S., the president says. I think that was all the gas prices. That was something I had in the stack of stuff today as well. Gas prices falling. The lowest point in 4 years that we're seeing. And I expect that we'll see even more gasoline prices falling more as we go. But it's just absolutely incredible. Look at what happens during the Trump administration versus what we saw 4 years of Joe Biden. Absolutely incredible. The left and the Democrats just want to drag the country further into the hole. Speaking of that, you've got we have got to watch this. We've got the end of USAID. And Senator Chuck Schumer is just distraught. The guy makes me laugh. I mean, it's a joke. I'm just amazed he can go out there with a straight face and say these things.
Also know this is just the beginning.
Just the beginning.
If USAID today, then you can be sure they'll move on to another target tomorrow.
Who knows? Maybe it'll be the Postal Service or the IRS or even the Social Security Administration. They could be next. Or maybe our national security agencies.
Oh, yeah. Look out. Look out. Here it comes. National
Also know this is just the beginning.
Sorry about that. I'm going to close that. Social Security's next. Or national security agencies. How can these people keep a straight face? I mean, you got to walk around with your face permanent. It's just absolutely incredible. I mean, I'm watching this stuff and I'm like, man, they're in such a dour mood all of the time. Just absolutely incredible. I think this, and it's only going to get worse. They got nowhere to go. I mean, Democrats are already down. They got to go lower. They got to keep reaching lower and lower and lower. And it's more and more dire and it's more and more terrible and it's awful and horrible. And who could stand this? I mean, seriously. Wow. These people are depressing, man. Don't depress, especially before the 4th of July. Don't be depressing me before America's 250th anniversary. Who is it who's the voice of optimism? Seriously, who are the voices of optimism that are out there right now? There's no Democrat among them. I mean, it's just crocodile tears the whole way, man. Okay, let's take a look at the Outkick. There are a number of things that are worthwhile at Outkick this morning. University of Pennsylvania updating swimming records after the Title IX violations. Now, we talked about this on the show this morning. I did not know this. They're still acknowledging Leah Thomas with a special note. So Leah Thomas being removed from the records, but still acknowledging that Leah, they just can't help themselves. This stuff is absolutely zany, crazy. So they've restored the titles and accomplishments for female athletes. A lot of us were pretty sour about that. You know, that female athletes were being denied records because of Leah Thomas, right? And so they added a special note highlighting the records that Leah Thomas had set during the season while competing on the women's team. I want to remind you again, transgender, but male, competing against women. Why does that deserve a special note? Why does that deserve a special note? I think that's a question reasonable people will be asking. So we talked about this at length this morning. An agreement between the Department of Education and the University of Pennsylvania. So the record book was updated July 1 but Thomas is still listed as a member of the team, and that, competing under eligibility rules in effect at the time. Leah Thomas set program records. Yeah, because you had a man competing as a woman. That's why. Does that really deserve to be noted? I mean, this period, I don't know why times and things have gotten so crazy. It's just absolutely crazy. So this story is really offbeat, but it caught my attention, and I think you'll understand why I'm sharing it. This is a writer at Outkick who, no, not Clay Travis. They came out swinging after our story about a kid, his butterfingered dad, and my shiny new Major League Baseball. And he says over the weekend, he decided to take in a game, snagged the ball tossed by the right fielder right after a dad flubbed not one, but two chances to catch it for his son. And you see the father, that's the baseball, obviously. The father, the son, right in front of him. The father apparently not just one, but twice missed the ball. And he decided, yeah, I'm going to keep it. He says, so my choice to keep the baseball rather than pulling a mean Joe Green and tossing it back to the kid with some life-changing advice, ruffled plenty of feathers. That, there's a way to describe that kind of move using the male anatomy that I'm not going to use. But that's what I would, and that's the influence of my wife. I have to, because that's what she'd call it. So he says, some of you are still scratching your heads, wondering why I didn't hand over the ball. Handing out freebies doesn't vibe with my capitalist soul. Oh, please, that's pure crap. That is pure crap. So I caught it. I kept it. The game, and there's the kid. Disappointment. Missed the ball. Now he kept it. I mean, I bet you 2 months from now, that ball is going to mean absolutely nothing to him. It's going to mean absolutely nothing. Major League Baseball. Hey, did you see it? And then, soon be with that kid. I think it would have meant something to the kid. Now, that's me. I don't know if you would have. And he goes on to say, I kept the baseball, sue me. Yeah, I'm not going to sue. Okay, whatever. So you're an ass. We got it. Whatever. There are plenty of those people around the country today. But to try to say how some others, you're being a capitalist, oh, please. Trying to put a happy face on keeping a ball that, okay, whatever. I'm not calling him human garbage. Others have. Human garbage. To actually finding middle ground with a few folks, the reactions to this ball snag were all over the place. So he dives into the mailbag. Was I right, wrong, or fair for keeping the baseball rather than handing it off to the clumsy father's son? No, asking a loaded question in that way is going to get you the results generally you're looking for. I mean, it's generally, I mean, you can phrase questions in such a way that, and I try to avoid this really as we talk about things. Generally speaking, but that is, I don't know. I mean, I just think it's a classless move, but that's me. Or is he entitled to do it? Yeah. As I have said on the show, I don't know how many times, the question is, I mean, you always have freedom to do things. That's I never take that for granted. You always have the freedom. The question is, should you have done it? Because, I mean, I have the freedom to do a lot of things that I just won't do for one reason or another. Some are just incredibly bad ideas. Some maybe I have some kind of moral compulsion or, just a host of different reasons. So yeah, you have the freedom to do things, but should you do it? And in this case, I mean, if I had the ball, caught the ball, and I see that kid, man, disappointed, I'm going to give him the ball. But that's me. I mean, we all got to make our own choices, but it kind of makes for an interesting question, I think, as to what should you do? And the readers at Outkick were pretty worked up, and I understand that. I understand why folks got a little bit crazy over it. The morning briefing also was talking about Leah Thomas and this caught my eye. Paula Scanlon taking a quick moment to thank Riley Gaines. She became the teammate I wish I had in college. I was silenced, bullied, and unsupported by my teammates and my university today and every day. I'm grateful for our grateful for our friendship and how much she's helped me grow. Pretty crazy. But Riley Gaines, she is the one that has continued to fight that fight. And I have been really, really glad for her voice and the voices of others, like this young woman, thanking Riley Gaines. What's her name? Paula Scanlon. Thanking Riley Gaines. And I think this is what it boils down to a number of things. Are you willing to step up and speak out for things that you know are right? We need more people who are willing to do that. You have to be unafraid to step up and speak out. And to see Riley Gaines inspiring, and I understand why she has inspired so many other, why other female athletes are looking to her, and just with a lot of gratitude and a lot of respect and a lot of appreciation. A lot of us need to do that. We need to step up, speak out on things that we see that are wrong. And in this case, when it comes to women's sports and, men trying to infringe, then transgender athletes, men trying to infringe on women's sports, there's just something inherently wrong about that. And I didn't need to hear that from anybody else. I just knew that from the very get-go. You saw that story, man, and immediately you're like, what in the fresh hell is this? How has this country gotten to a place where this is even an issue? And I find myself saying that all the time. We were talking about in the last hour of the program this morning, about Border Patrol, and then this app that apparently is going to, allow people to see, or not Border Patrol, but ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement. So you can see where they're at. And I mean, first of all, okay, you got the freedom to design an app like that. But why? I mean, just so many of these things that are so shocking. And you find this if you live in Realville, if your focus is on Main Street America, so much of this stuff is just absolute lunacy. But unfortunately, these are the times that we live in. And the whole, Leah Thomas competing against women, becoming transgender, former male swimmer who couldn't compete with his male colleagues. He wasn't winning races. And I mean, he was struggling. And suddenly now transgender and defeating, female swimmers. I didn't need anybody else to tell me there's something inherently wrong with that. That is, we created women's sports and women's divisions for a reason. And Title IX was all about this, giving women equal opportunities in sports. That's what it was all about. Suddenly, you have transgenders entering that. And how is that? Okay with the Biden administration who was clearing the path for that? How did that become a political issue? Never should have been. That never, ever should have been a political issue. And I don't know, is it just because the Democrats have to appeal to every fringe element they can in order to build support? Because God knows their ideas are not resonating on Main Street. They're just appealing to every, fringe element that they can find. I never understood that, and I still don't. I still don't, but it's wrong. You and I know it. We've always known it. It's just inherently wrong. We created these programs for women because women were not getting a fair shake. We did not have an equal number of opportunities for women. Men have all of these long list of sports, for men, and women, a couple. That wasn't fair. And I think this country recognized that. That wasn't fair. And so we set up a system with more opportunity for women and female athletes. And along come, men like Leah Thomas, and get out of here. I mean, so this is just a breath of fresh air. And, Donald Trump told us a number of, it's been a while since Trump said, you will like me, you're going to get tired of winning, right? That you'll get tired of winning. And I'm not tired of it yet. It's a breath of fresh air, and one that I'm really, really grateful for. And we had a lot of great reaction to that. A number of you texted your comments to me this morning. I received a few phone calls, but a lot more text messages. And I think in part because it's one of those issues that impact people really on a personal kind of level. Even for us who are not females, we've got daughters, we've got granddaughters. We don't like seeing them being robbed of their opportunities. We feel very much, I think this is an issue where we can agree, whether you're a man or a woman, we can agree. We want to see those opportunities preserved for women. And it was really great to see that settlement yesterday. All right, you have made it to the end of the video. So you are part of my gallery of champions. A big thank you to all of you. Special salute for the Bunker Brigade. Those are the folks that are here and commenting, especially on YouTube. Kathy and Brian and Denise and Steve and a number of others. I'm so grateful for all of you. Just a quick reminder, no Greg Belfrage show on Friday. Then I'm on vacation all week. And the Bunker Brigade was saying yesterday, take the week off, because I was questioning, am I going to do this next week when I'm on vacation? And some of you said, no, take the week off, enjoy the week. And I think I will. So we'll leave it there for today. I'll be back again tomorrow. So until then, I'm underground and gone.